Hi, I'm Bart Egnal, President and CEO for the Humphrey Group, and this is what I have learned about what it takes to communicate, influence, and inspire in this new world of remote work. We have been in the business at the Humphrey Group for 30 years of teaching leadership communication skills. And yet in March 2020, everything changed. Our global team, which had relied on in-person time, getting together to kind of knit the fabric of our people together, was suddenly 100% working remotely. And we were wondering, how do we connect? How do we collaborate? How do we knit the team together in the ways that we previously had done in person? And it was unsurprising that we learned the secret: communication. The first thing that we learned is that you have to intentionally create communication rituals. Having productivity through meetings, you can do that with Zoom, but it's all the in-between time to connect that used to get through the coffee chat, over lunch, having drinks after work. That's what's absent. And so you've got to work and be intentional to create that space. The second thing that we've learned is that inclusion matters even more. When we move to remote work, all sorts of barriers to inclusiveness are suddenly erected. You've got some people like me who are dealing with childcare at home, and that's creating demands that make it tough to feel connected. You have other people who are dealing with loneliness because they're on their own. You have people wrestling with barriers around technology. There are so many different reasons why it's tough to maintain your connection now in this world. And it's really a leader's job to understand what those barriers are and how you can work with the people on your team to overcome them. So inclusion matters even more than it did in the past. And the last thing is the norms are changing. You have to define the new norms and expectations for communication. For example, you may have 5 different tools. You may be on a Zoom. You may be using WhatsApp. You may be on Slack. Is this too much? Do people prefer one tool or another? Or how about time? Meetings suddenly without the natural barriers of being in the office can spill over into personal time in ways that ultimately erode engagement. So take the time to define what is going to work for you and your team, and what will allow a new set of intentional communication norms to be established so everyone can thrive together. So those are the 3 tips I have for you. You've got to create the rituals, you have to be more inclusive, and you have to define intentionally what your new communication norms are going to be. So those are my suggestions to you for how to create an engaged team in this new world of work.